Hello and welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays. Today we're continuing through our Proverbs 31 Woman series, focusing in on Proverbs 31 verses 22 through 24. And here's what that says. She makes her own bedspreads. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with the other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. I suppose at first glance, a person could look at these verses and decide that to be a godly woman, you need to develop sewing skills and marry a community leader. But it seems to me that we need to keep the verses in the context of their time. Today, very few people sew bedspreads or clothing, whether for their use of their own family or to sell to others. These days, that work is fairly automated, which makes it pretty inexpensive just to pick it up at the store. But step back and think of what that might mean for our time. What skills do we need to run our own households, to create homes that are warm and hospitable, and to generate income? The skills might look different today, but there are things a person can do to help their home and their finances work better. So perhaps we should translate that across when we're thinking about what a Proverbs 31 woman would look like today. Like, what can you do at home or at work to bring excellence to it? And then what about having a husband that is well known at the city gates and sits with other civic leaders? Does this mean that you can only be a Proverbs 31 woman if you marry a successful politician or businessman? I don't think so. I think about two things when I consider that part of the verses. The first being, when you're choosing a husband, you choose someone who works and plays well with others. Not a malcontent who yells a lot about how no one understands him, that kind of thing. Choose someone who can take part in community life. That's a sign of wisdom, and wisdom is the Proverbs 31 woman, right? And then secondly, it makes me think about when you have a husband, be the kind of wife and partner to him that doesn't keep him in constant chaos and stress. Face it, you can be the kind of spouse who supports your loved one, your partner, helping them to be the very best that they can be, or you can be a crazy maker. You have that choice available to you. That's what I think of when I think of this verse. And maybe there's more to these verses. And certainly I would be interested in hearing your thoughts about it. But for now, that's all I've got, and I will see you next time, wise ones.